Calculating an average score is easy. So we have here a whole load of anthropometric measurements for a whole load of females. So we've got column E is height. I'm just going to type in equals average, open bracket, and select my data range, which is pretty much all of this column. So I just zoom up, and there we go. Close brackets, press enter, and at the very bottom here we have 163.07 centimeters is the average height. But if you look in column D, we have two different ethnicities. We have Chinese and we have white. So I want to know what the difference in average height is between Chinese and white females. So one way to do this is we could filter and just say, okay, here's all the Chinese people. We're going to take all these 50 scans, put them into a different spreadsheet and just deal with it that way. That way can work, but I want to keep all of my data together. So I'm going to do something a bit more sophisticated. Now for this, I'm going to go to my sheet 2 for analysis, and I've already got this set up. So what's going to be the average height for white? So now for this, I'm going to use a function called AverageIF. So what we need for this is just a few bits of data. We need to know what we're looking for, so our category. You'll notice that category here is exactly the same as we have in our main data set there. So we need that. We also need to have a column of measurements, a column of data, which is numerical. So let's go ahead and put this in. It's actually very simple. So equals average if, and the if stands for if the category is. So let's go and choose our range. So where does our range live? And for us, it is quite simple. It is, zoom to the top here, it is this column here. Let's just capture all this data right down to there. So that's where our categories live. So press comma. Then we want to say, right, what are we looking for? So we're looking for this thing here. In this case, we're saying sheet 1, B6. It's just this thing here. And then comma again. And then we're saying, where do you look? So we've said in the first column, you're looking here. We're looking for something, which in this case is a white. And then we move along, and where do we look? So I'm going to just select all of this next column, which is height. There we are. So I'm going to place close bracket and return. So what you see here is that we've pulled this back. Now, to show you how this works, in Excel 2009, the latest version for Microsoft Office, you'll see it's just saying this table column and that table column. So I'm just going to take this and drag it down. You'll see we've got a different value. Now, just make sure this isn't being influenced. I'm just going to remove that. So yeah, because we're not saying specific numbers like B2 to B99, we don't need to modify this when we're copying it down. It just says, well, it's just this column, and we know it's this column. It's got some artificial intelligence built into Excel now. And because we're pulling it down, the reference cell is now B7. If we look here, it's B6. So it's just going from that to that. If we had more ethnicities, we could have black, we could have mixed, we could have Hispanic, etc. Then we just keep going on with this. So we can see there is a difference in the average height, and we can just work this out quickly, which is say white minus Chinese. So we have an average height difference of 0.38 centimeters. That tells me there's no real difference. Obviously, this is a very crude one. We're not going into stats or t-tests or anything, but that is how you take the averages without splitting up the table using the simple AverageIS function.